I thought you said this was going to be an easy, quick project. It's been about 2 years. Is that quick?
Whilst the weather is nice today, Philly will be working away on the cherry picker and giving a quick trim to some of the trees, just a quick trim. One of the areas Philly wants to work on is this. We have a great view of the chateau, or should have, shall I say. So these branches, I think there's only a few. He's going to raise the canopy upwards, and hopefully then we should have more view and also more light for where I'm sitting, which is the steps going up to the gardener's cottage, so they will get more light, more sunshine for either side for any plants to grow. And I will be, although Philly's fixing for me, I will be sucking up the leaves that are all dead and fallen there. They're nice and dry and crispy.
Yeah, this area looks a little bit untidy, but it's pallets that I've been collecting as and when they come up, because they don't come up like they do in the UK where they're just left everywhere. Everyone used them for something, and I want them for edging as we're doing certain banks. So they've been collected for a while. I'm looking forward to getting rid of a mucky pile, but also being able to put the edging in. So hey, gotta love spring sometimes.
And I'll be using this machine, so it's a suction. We've just attached the long hose as it's a lot easier to get to tight corners. Start it up, Philly.
All right.
Okay, so after a day's work, or a few hours shall I say, he's managed to raise this section, which was a lot lower, and sprung out all the way here. So now you can see, this is where the steps are leading up to the gardener's cottage, where our kitchen garden is. How are you feeling, Philly, about that?
Covered in sawdust.
You what?
I'm covered in sawdust.
Oh yes, and show us your hands, because they are green. It's all the algae that was on the tree, and all the branches were basically green. So as we were putting it into a wood chipper,
Yeah.
we were getting coloured. I think it's time for a shower, Philly, as it's end of day.
I think so, and then we can leave the reveal till when I've actually finished and moved the cherry picker.
Yeah,
Yeah? But
Yeah.
I can see it from this angle, you can't, and I'm really happy.
yeah. So here is the view. I was talking to you earlier, and the branches were way lower to that. I mean, I could go down these steps and get a better view, but this is already an improvement. Really, really great. And here is our beloved wood chipper. All the branches go through there and get shot out way over there. And there is a pile, which is lovely. It's so handy to have this machine. And we've still got a few more branches tomorrow when we have a bit more energy. But this is really great progress, and it really helps to tidy up.
So as you can tell from the sky, that worse weather that we were talking about has arrived, and rain is scheduled shortly, which of course is why we've been spending the last couple of days of nice weather out here. So now, as part of our ongoing project that we ask your guys' suggestion about this top area up here. We're just clearing up here. So we've raised this and now we can get more light in and carry on with the rest, get that ivy off the wall, those sorts of things. And let's just go up here. So in case you hadn't seen before, this is the area we are planning to do a nice little kitchen garden, but we've got to get all of this lot cut back so we can clear up and see how to plan it all out. We obviously asked for your suggestions in a previous video and we had some fantastic suggestions, everyone. Thank you so much for your kind comments, and we can't wait to look over all of those more in depth. We're looking at quite a few at the moment, and we can start making a plan. Of course, we have to clear first, but your suggestions and help are what give us the motivation to do that. One of the other comments which came up a bit was about the gardener's cottage. And could that be sorted out so maybe a gardener could come and live here for free in exchange for doing some gardening work. So let me show you, for anyone that hasn't seen before, what we call the gardener's cottage. Just puts one of the lights on. I hope that's probably answering the questions, as it's not particularly easy, although very cute. So this fireplace here is actually being held up by these wooden supports to the floor, and you can see quite a bit of sunlight up there, and of course that's where ivy has grown through and lifted the slates and tiles. It's not quite habitable, shall I say, by any means. Worse is that we've had to loosely fix the floor in here before. As you can see, some fresh wood, some old, and we're still getting holes to down there, which is obviously no good. I would, don't know if that's any good for anybody. I mean, it would make something nice one day, but apart from a horror movie set at the moment, I don't know if it's going to make anything nice that quickly. Okay, so avoiding falling into holes in the floor of the cottage, I'm hoping that gives everyone that kindly commented what is a great idea to have gardeners stay here. I hope that explains why that's not happening anytime soon. Although we are going to tidy up the front of this so it's a little bit prettier in all this area's tidy up. And of course this shall be leaving. Now let's go and show you something else. Oh, yay, look, we have something sprouting, one of our berry bushes. I I've got to tell Angelina, this is really exciting. Yeah, and more. Yeah, there's little green shoots on a few of them. Oh, that is exciting. But green shoots mean, yeah, green shoots means brambles comes back to life. Oh dear. Right, I'm going to get to where I was trying to show you. Okay, this is where I was trying to show you. We're talking about horror movies. Here is, up there, the gardener's cottage. So now, this doesn't look dodgy at all, does it? This is one of the old wine caves. I briefly showed you one in another video the other week. So, look at this. Beautiful. So there's the keystone for that arch. And look at that. Little doors which would have been there to stop people getting to the wine store, which you would have been stashing over there. So this is just a little bit to show you why this actually isn't a quick job for the see, there's the hole in the floor, but here are the acro props, which are very solidly now, of course, but isn't a great thing for huge amounts of time, holding up the fireplace upstairs. And it's nice blocked up doors to other places for safety, because of course this is one big raised area. We are underneath that huge wall in the garden. But look at all of these. I know they're underneath bits and pieces, but one day this will be, well, I don't know what it's going to be, but it's going to need quite a bit of work, as when we had to put the floor in just so it could be used briefly. This is a temporary measure, as those joists need replacing. They are, I don't know if you can see in there, they are rotten. Unfortunately, until you do something with this basement, you're never going to be able to do anything with the cottage, because the dampness down here will always rot out the floor and the joist above. So that, my wonderful viewers, and thank you for your kind comments, is unfortunately why this won't be happening anytime quickly. And I do love this arch. Now, I've watched too many horror movies. I know creeping around in a dodgy basement is where the first person in the movie gets killed, so I'm leaving. Back to daylight. Oh, that's better. This is the Chateau's historic kitchen, which was used as a storage room for years and is now our gym. We've been following that progress for a few weeks. This is our next project now the worst weather has arrived and we can't be working outside. That's our morning room, and I'm very much looking forward to that. But just as chateau life is never a bed of roses, the cherry picker is now in the way and it's completely immobilised, as one of the valve blocks has decided to stick or die or something, which is, well, you kind of learn to live with this sort of stuff. Otherwise, you'd have to have an army of mechanics and buy much newer equipment. Such is life, but gonna have to work out how to move a 13-ton cherry picker out of the way so I can get my trailer out and go and get materials. However, before that, I've got to move a load of logs off the driveway. So you might not be able to see, but our phone line's up there, and the phone line company very kindly taken down some trees which were sick and ill that were in danger of falling over, which is wonderful. Got all that for firewood. And all of this. I'm sure this won't take me long to move, will it? Best get a few more wood burners.
And now we're indoors in this room, which is the last room we had worked on here at the chateau. We cleaned the walls, we had restored the fireplace, and most importantly, we had restored the floor, which was filthy. And now it's looking lovely and clean, and it has been turned into a gym. It used to be a historic kitchen before, and this time it's a gym. Because guess what? We need to get fit and really, really strong because we have a lot of work ahead of us. It's almost spring, and we've got next room to work on before the nature really explodes for us.
I absolutely love this frame that Angelina put together with all the history of this room and the old wallpaper. That's a really, really nice piece for here. How that fireplace and then of course the beautiful stone floor turned out, I think is wonderful, and we're really proud. But I'm going to be much happier and much more proud of the next room because I think it's a bit more interesting, really.
If you like this progress and would like to see more, then make sure you subscribe and hit that bell button straight after to receive all our latest notifications, because we release videos as and when we make progress on the chateau or external. Anything to do with it, of interest, do make sure you subscribe. And any of our current subscribers, if you have not hit that bell button, that would be the reason you're not receiving all the notifications about latest videos out. So do make sure you click that. Now, let's go and see the next room we'll be working on. Come with me. And this is the room we'll be working on next. As you can see, it's not really used. Again, it was sort of another storage room because we have, as you notice, the walls are bare and we have taken off layers of it. I'm going to explain to you exactly what we did. This room is great and we absolutely love it because it's actually right next to our kitchen, so we're able to eat and have breakfast here in the morning. This room also has a wood burner, so actually in the winter time we kind of use it as a lounge as well, which is nice because this room heats up really well. It's got a nice cozy feel to it. This room has also got one of the best views here. Now I've got the views of our garden with the moat, and also I can keep an eye on the dog. And also behind me you'll notice we have the view of the restored swan house, which we did last year, which is incredible. Now we did used to use this room up until we started taking the walls down, and we would like to start using it again as a proper sitting room. I guess summertime sitting room is more appropriate for this room as well as the breakfast because it's right next to the kitchen.
As Angelina has said, this room was used before, but then it didn't have bare walls. What it had, as you can see from this battening, is it had material suspended above the wall with a little air gap. Wonderful thing, until that gets damp and holds some nasty smells.
So, as you've seen all throughout the chateau pretty much, many of the rooms here are have got fabric on the walls. Now, the interesting part is that actually it was wallpaper on top of the fabric. So as the wallpaper was peeling, we did notice that there was fabric, so we decided to reveal and see if the fabric was salvageable and in any good state because it was lovely neutral color.
Sadly, though, the fabric was quite damaged, especially at the lower part. I did also notice some silverfish about, which is a true sign of there's moisture in there. So the wallpaper stopped the fabric and the walls from breathing, and the walls here have been drying ever since.
The walls are actually quite bad anywhere near the windows. The windows have now been replaced, but they leaked for a long time many years ago and did quite a bit of damage behind the scenes. In lots of places that's been fixed because it was visible. In this room, all of this was underneath material which then had wallpaper over the top. So the damage is done here, and well, as you can see, I think bits are just falling off as we go. So I've got to deal with this, the underlying problems here, before we can make good. So it's quite a big job. Obviously this is quite far from the window, but ultimately the problem was caused by that fabric holding the moisture from the window and it travelling along the fabric underneath there, and it was held against these walls, and it's really done the damage. So it could only be fixed once that material was taken off and the moisture could go. And of course it's taken another 1.5 years to dry out. From my point of view, what I've got to do is I've got to remove all the old battening, the nails, everything that holds the material up against the wall, remove old wiring which is defunct and just been hidden by the material, and then I've got the stabiliser walls where it's all falling apart in places, and there's quite a few, fill and then plasterboard the room out so we've got a decent surface to begin with. And I'm hoping that's a reasonably easy job other than the size of it, so we can get a blank canvas and Angelina's decorating ideas can come to fruition.
Whilst Phil is busy doing the walls and taking care of that, I've got the little decorating ideas. Now we've got this beautiful set here. It's a 3-piece suite. I'd need to definitely clean that and give it some love. I do think it's an antique because it does have horsehair throughout. And I've got lovely coffee tables here that also require a lot of love. Here's one I did earlier as well with our Chateau du Bailleul design, which I absolutely love. Will suit this room. And I have lots of beautiful exotic plants here, which I think will suit this really bright room really nicely. And a few other decorating design ideas that I'd like to put in here, and I think will make the room really beautiful. And when Phil is ready and has done all the walls, we'll be ready to paint them. So we have a lot of work ahead of us, Billy, and we need to go and prepare.
Yeah, so I'm gonna have to fix the trailer, which has got a locked brake, so I can go and get the materials, but I can do that tomorrow while you're gonna sort of clear out the last of the bits and pieces so we can make a start?
Yep, I'll do that, but before we do that, let's go and have a workout, get strong, because we have a lot of work ahead of us.
Super, let's go.
So this is what the room looks like with some sun. Now you can really see clearly, there's a lot of light coming through here, and this is why we love it so much. If you want to see the progress on this room coming up, do make sure you subscribe and hit that bell button. You must hit the bell, otherwise you're not going to get any notification. And any of you who are subscribed with us, do that if you haven't done so already, because the videos are coming up fast and quick as well. Anyways, for now, see you guys next time.
Thank you for watching, and see you next time. If you like this episode, then don't forget to subscribe and check out the other episodes suggested coming up on screen now.